Oh my goodness, so excited. We are live today and we have the beautiful Rachelle Rakuraku with us today. Miriam is on a delightful dinner with her family. And so I absolutely love and adore this woman with all of my heart, with all of my soul, with all of my body. It's like she is deliciousness in physical form. She absolutely is. Rachelle lights up your life with her words, with her sight, with her look, with her feel, with just who she is in her essence. And what Rachelle specializes in really helping mamas move from overwhelm to joy. And Rachelle and I have been playing together. That sounds really funny, but that we have been playing in these realms together for maybe 3 years now, and we got our mastership together through Miss Miriam Brewer.
Thank you, Miriam.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What a gorgeous introduction. I don't know. I'm going to just receive all of that with love and grace. It's so often in the past I have gone, but I'm receiving all of that, Claudia. Thank you so much. And it's funny that you said the time on it. It feels like it just feels like we've known each other forever. And it did that from the very beginning. Like
that was like our conversation today. Like we spoke 3 days ago, and it was like, can you remind me what we're talking about? Because it feels like we've lived a lifetime since then. And that's what it's like, right? When you dance in this, it's like you live a lifetime in a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Zoe. Hi, Teresa. I saw a great thing on that. It was like yesterday was a really big week. And I feel like that's how my life is running at the moment, because it's just holding all the things. And then also in the external world, that you might see somebody and then 3 days later we have totally different environment in the world at large. Totally different.
Yeah. Let me reintroduce me to yourself. Are we
elbowing? Are we high five?
Amazing. So, what are we asking? Okay, so we both Rachelle and I specialize in being a mum. We specialize in being a mum, right? It's one of our very well, it's a regular conversation that we actually often have. And so, yeah, if you've got any questions about like sort of being a mum, being in a family, how can you like sort of evolve in the family? How can you dance with peace and actually be in your joy while you're going through your own stuff within a family, and knowing that you've got to get the dinner on, there's the washing to be done, and the house and the toilet needs to clean too, because it ain't going to do itself.
I love that you mentioned that, because I was speaking to Claudia this week. I'm like, I've got this huge mountain of stuff that I need to climb by next Tuesday. And she was like, well, what can you outsource? And I was like, look, do you know what? Cleaning is not my zone of genius. And I feel like I get to embrace somebody who cleaning is their zone of genius, so that they can do it and I have space and time to do the things I love. And I think as us mamas, as we move along and into it, we hold so much already. And this year has just been like one epic curveball after another. So it's like, it's how you're juggling it all, and what other things, what creative things can you add in to get somebody else to hold the ball just for a little while you sort your own out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, yes. Oh, I love it. Christy, feeling what you're saying. Amazing. Tell us a little bit more. I have an empty nest, which is really hard. Okay. So my question would be, what makes it hard? What makes having the empty nest hard? Nest hard? Just so, like, questions are really good to answer. Yes.
Michelle, I love that. I work as well as a podiatrist. So I have a lot of clients of different age groups, and it's such a big thing. It's funny, we both started shuffling at the same time. So obviously you're getting a card. So it's such a big thing moving into that space when, like, motherhood, as we were just talking about before, it's all consuming. It's and in a beautiful and uplifting way, but it's our entire life. It's part of our identity. And even though you're definitely still a mother and needed more than ever now, Michelle, especially the connection and the for your family to be able to come back to a really strong base and know your values and know who you are, and they can always go back to mum, and knowing that makes life so much easier. And it makes so much, just knowing that, not that they always run back, but knowing that is like, lets them be the beautiful people that they are. But it is a huge shift, losing that part of your identity in terms of the all-encompassingness that I'm in right now. And my kids, I've got 5, and my eldest is 17 and my youngest is 5.
And
so
how many dogs do you have too?
I've got 3 dogs and 2, don't forget our 2 fish. Because I sometimes do.
And so, yeah, so Michelle, what the card that came out and really jumped out for me was divine talents. And so for you, like, sort of what I invite you into is, like, sort of, as you've got this emptiness, you've got space. You've got spaciousness. Now, how can you tap into some of the divine talents that have been knocking on your door and tapping in? How can you tap in further to that? What are some of the things that light you up? What are some of the things that you can enjoy? What is a hobby that you can play with? For me, I know within my relationships, within my friendships, I was speaking to my husband of 20 years now about this the other day, and I found this fascinating, where it's like it was like this realization. It's like, ta-da! I'm like, do you realize that I felt like our relationship is getting better and better each time we have a project to work on. And then I started thinking, okay, so with my friends, who of my friends do I have a project on or we've got this something where we go, oh yeah, ba 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 ba. And I went, yeah. And I got really excited by them. And then I started tuning into some of my friends and some of the people that I knew who I was like, yeah, no, I kind of got really no project. And if I thought to actually create a project with them, it kind of bored me. And I went, I'm not doing it.
Which is awesome. Do you know what? I think I just had this realization while you were talking then. I have this belief that it's like in relationship, it's like blow up moments that kind of help you get it all out and go to another space. And I've just learned now that I could just do that in a really lovely, pleasurable way by creating projects to do together, grow and learn together, because you have to, figure things out together, as opposed to making it like this, big explosion experience. So I love that.
It's huge. I mean, we've got a project at the moment, and for us, we're creating a living table. And I use the word we. I come up with the ideas, and Rod actually carries it out. It is, however, a we thing, and we actually talk about that because we have a rule between us when we sit down and have our morning cuppa. We actually don't talk about organizing things. That actually happens beforehand. We don't do that. When we sit down, it's about other stuff. So do you know how much time I've spoken about the garden? We talk about gardens all the time now.
So good. So good. I love it. If you ever get blessed to visit Claudia's house, you can tell the love and you never know what you're going to get. First of all, you never know what you're going to get when you come, because there will have been a project that's been done between now and then when you went last, and the whole energy will be transformed, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be in, and it transforms you just being in the space, which is I've been very blessed to be able to share that. But this has just opened up while we're talking how important that is, the being able to create little goals to work towards. And I think when you were talking before about finding something in your, that you really love doing, that's something that you can embrace, Michelle, when you're moving forward, is what you really love, because your children will be coming back to you when they need you the most, and you get to inspire them by doing the things that light you up, which is very exciting. There's another Facebook gardener on the live as well.
I love it. I love it. And with Zoe, I'd love to, and please let us know how this resonates. Let us know what nuggets that you receive from it. As you type it in, it is also claiming it for yourself as well. So that's really quite important. And Zoe, really moving on to you, and what I'd like to say is, this is actually very, very relevant for you. Zoe says, I would love some guidance on preteens. I have a 10-year-old that has some huge feelings. I find it hard to be present with her when she needs me, as I have 3 under 3 also. So, super mum. So Rachelle is your mum.
I love it. It's very interesting, because I've got a daughter who's 9, and it's I am very aware. I was talking to this gorgeous woman the other day, and our children are giant, and we're discussing our children are giant balls of love. And when they come up against us, they highlight areas where we get to love ourselves deeper.
They do. It's like
they hit all those spots where you haven't quite loved yourself enough yet, which is a beautiful way to look at it. And also, it's very challenging while you're in it to have that perspective. So I very much, my daughter's 9, and she is getting to that age where she has a lot of emotion stuff come up as well. But the way that she expresses it is kind of, she just has this tone all the time and blah, like, and so that has been a real challenge for me. And what I found is a really good way to connect is to create kind of a ritual between me and her, which is actually, we just go and have, like, we'll go and have a nice, like, a little morning tea or something, just the 2 of us, so that she knows that. And then that's our little space that we get to do together. And then when at the end of that, before we finish that moment, we'll talk about the next one. So she knows that we've had a little ritual moment, and she also knows that she's still connected to me, and has the next date for it to be connected. And it can be all sorts of things. Sometimes we do craft. She taught me how to finger knit the other day. Like, they're amazing. It's easier said than done with 3 kids under 3. But maybe it's a matter of letting her have so a little bit of time later at night where she gets to stay up with just you for half an hour. Which is a beautiful way.
I agree. And so one of the things that I created with Ariane, and it's still going to this day. So she's 14 now, and we do foot spas. Like, so and originally we were going out, but then I was like, you know what, let's do this at home. So we now have this ritual. We have these buckets. I bought all the salts, bought all the oils, have all of that. We created foot spa, and we get the apple chips, and we slice the apple chips, and we get the cheese, and we sit there and we watch a girly movie and zone out. And it's awesome, and it's amazing, and it's just like I remember all of those moments. But something else that I want to bring up, if I go back to when the kids were under 10, when they were about, I think, around 9 and 10, we did our family values. Yeah. And we sat around and you know this story, Rachelle, we sat around a whiteboard and talked about, as a family, what are the things that we love doing. And out of it came, and the kids were little, and Rod, you know, I needed to push a little bit to get them to do that. And they weren't going, woohoo, let's do this, yay!
I created them.
And so they, like, sort of, so what came out was adventure, play, togetherness, fun, all of these things, and being outdoors. And so we ended up coming up with, okay, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to do this more. So we worked out, it's called a FAF day. So my surname is Forward. So it was Forward Adventure Fun Day. That was our FAF day. And that meant that we would go, that would mean we would go for a picnic. It would mean it'd be a walk, a bushwalk. It'd be something outdoors. So FAF represented something outdoors, to the point where we had friends wanting to join us on our FAF days. And it's like, it's absolutely fantastic. Another one that we did was a cultural day. And this is all out of that. And a cultural day was, if we had Italian for the night, everyone needed to look up an Italian fact, and it needed to be something true or false or funny or what have you. And so everyone got a word at the table.
Yep. Well, what I love the most is that Claudia set up this, but also being around her family and experiencing her family, they add in adventure. I personally have inherited a giant Jenga set from Claudia. Like, they bring in like this fun adventure play all the time. Like, they play this, what is it called? Cornhole.
Oh my gosh, cornhole is so we're really, really, really big on okay, Zoe, pop onto my page. I don't know if you might find cornhole, but I'll post it tomorrow. I'll post something tomorrow, Zoe, about cornhole. But like, so it's a game with bags, and you've got to throw it and land it into a hole. I guess kind of camping games. We play Mafia. We play all sorts of stuff. And it's just like, we even did it in the hallway when it was raining with family. It's just like, let's move some furniture out of the way, because who cares, right? It's about togetherness. So I always knew. So for me, it was always about harmony at home, joyful connection, deep, deep, deep connection. So I would do whatever it takes to get that deep, deep, deep connection.
It's amazing. I flipped a card while we were talking as well. So it's actually tend to the small things. And you see the little mouse in there. And for me, what I'm getting when I flip that is also like creating those little, like taking those little steps so that you can create time with her, and also having those little steps so that the little ones are organized, so you can do some stuff with her as well. I know with my daughter who's 9, she's like just the most amazing child, and she kind of has never given me any grief. So in the past, I kind of was like, well, she's sorted, and I wouldn't spend the time with her as much as I would, because the younger ones actually need it. So it has been a learning process for me, and it's all, I mean, parenting is all a learning process that we get to, like, you know, stop and drop in and do more, notice and be more. So I really appreciate you bringing it up, because it's actually been a good reminder for me as well, as to look at it again, you know, because it is hard when the younger ones, they do physically require so much attention and from you. So I'm excited for you with all this creative stuff you can come out with.
Oh, it is exciting, and it's something that you create, because what I've found is we've created an essence within our family through continuing to do this. Now, we by no means have it perfect. We bump into a lot of stuff, and we bump into, like, I come up with loads of ideas, and they're not always received in the enthusiasm that I believe they should be received. Do you experience that?
I feel that one. I feel that a lot. Sometimes I get big eye rolls, and that's why I was laughing when you said that you had to kind of drag it out of them. But it's like, yeah, but sometimes they humor you enough that you can get it done, and then they realize the importance of it later. But it's not always. It doesn't always go exactly as you plan, which is, I mean, that's what it's like as a family, isn't it? It's a collaboration, and everybody has their own personalities and gets to contribute. And it's all, you know, everybody, it changes the flavor from what you expect it to be. So it's like dropping the expectation as well.
Massively. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. And even little things like our dishwasher went, and it went like sort of partway through last year. And like Rod and I used to be very much on the side of like sort of, oh my gosh, like if our dishwasher goes, like sort of that's it, that's the first thing we get because it saves marriages or things like that. But then it changed, and we looked at it in a new way. And what we realized is that we hadn't taught the kids how to clean a kitchen. So we have actually been on a 6-month journey of cleaning and teaching how to clean. That's so fascinating.
Amazing.
These strange wrapping papers.
I always remember my boss's daughter calling up and talking about how she'd been on the floor, hands and knees on the floor, wiping the floor with a mop, with a tea towel kind of thing, like scrubbing thing. And her mum was like, why don't you just mop it? And she was like, oh yeah. Like, and she was 20 something, but because she's never had to do it at home, she was just like, okay, I need to clean the floor. I need to get the floor clean, so I'll just wipe it all. So it's
I've
like,
got mop slippers. Have you seen my mop slippers?
my kids
They're the best. They are the best. You know what? Okay, anyone with anyone with kids under 10, you need mop slippers.
It'll last you a good month of fun, and then after that, they kind of just hang around.
Exactly. Okay, so now there was an extra thing with Zoe where she's looking for deep connection with her family, but her partner is struggling, and it's kind of more from a distraction point of view, is like what I've got from the summaries, because I've been asking extra questions on here.
Yeah. Is he open to have a conversation about it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't actually have that conversation, and so we don't give them an opportunity to come through with a response. And it's really important not to come as like, I've noticed you're doing this and you're doing this, but come from a space of like, hey, I feel like I'm really missing out on you, and I'd really love to connect with you a bit more because I really miss you. And I was wondering what you would like to do to create the connection and allow him to answer that. Because I know for myself, I was very much like, we're going to be doing this and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
That didn't work out for me. Space of your just that you miss him, because it's very easy, and we've sort of been conditioned by society to go, get off your phone, like you're always on your phone, no. But actually what you're missing is connection to him. So if you say, yeah, totally different space, and a more productive combo.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so important. And it's like, and what I would also say is be mindful of the words in how you're expressing how he is going to be. Like, so if you have a read through your, like, say, some of your comments here, you may see, like, sort of how open would he be if that was the way you're expressing it, if that's the energetic behind it. And so I know for Rod, okay, so if I backtrack before we lived in this place, because it's a really easy way for me to go back to that. So say 10 years ago. So the kids would have been, say, 5 and 4. At that time, Rod and I remember us having a conversation going, you know what? And Rod came to me, I read that it'd be really good for marriages if you actually just sat and talked for 5 minutes every day, not about the kids. And we both looked at each other and went, yeah, that's cool. And like we really, really went, wow, that's cool. What we've now created every single morning. Now, however, at the start, 6 years ago, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't. It was like I was drawing teeth in trying to get him, and I would say, I read Nonviolent Communication, the book, and so I thought I'd practice everything that I learned because I was so fabulous, because I knew everything at that point. And so I was like, what I'm hearing is, so I'm trying to come into the middle of an argument. I'm like, what I'm hearing you saying, because that's what the book told me to say, what I'm hearing you say is blah, and this is how it feels for me. And he's like, don't put that psychobabble bullshit on me.
I love it.
And yet now it's like, boom, he lands the plane. He's more wise than I am. He's phenomenal. And it's like, do until it's done. Go.
I love that.
Yes. Okay. So who are you seeing?
I love that Claire has written, my 18-year-old had to Google how to address an envelope.
That
This
is
is the thing now. You can Google anything. If only we had that in our lives. Hey,
I wonder if you can Google how to wash dishes.
Hey, Google. I use it all the time to look up stuff. So I love that how amazing are you as a parent that you've taught your child to be resourceful and go and check Google to find out the things that they don't know.
I love you. It's like, I just love hearing, I love the way you see things. See, I love that. Okay.
We get to see all the things that we've taught as well. I'm going to do a card for you, Jade, because it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff going on. So let's just do a card for you. I'm going to drop in.
I felt that too. Good.
I'm getting a bit of tingling. There's a lot of stuff going on in your head. Like I'm getting up here. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to shake actually. Oh, you're welcome, Zoe. I need to shake the back of my head. So I'm actually just going to invite you. Yeah, what's it? Oh,
and there's laid a solid foundation. Yeah, throat. So I'm not sure. So I'm getting throat, and I can see Claudia's just gone like that. So she's getting it as well. So the card to me is very interesting because it's lay a solid foundation. To me, I'm immediately thinking about family and you dropping into what's important to you. There's something that you're not saying. And because you're not saying it, stuck in your throat all the time, that's why both of us are getting this kind of throat energy.
And it's all
yeah, Claudia's moving it. You can see she's moving around. She's moving a lot of it for you. But there's a conversation that needs to happen. And that when I say laying a solid foundation and spoke immediately into family, you can see this is it a beaver? Yeah, beaver's like setting up a beaver makes a dam as well. So for me, the dam is about you deciding what you want and how you want to feel, and then creating a bit of a barrier between you and the people who aren't making you feel that. And I don't mean it has to stick around forever, but I mean at the moment there's a lot of stuff happening in your life, and their energy is sort of coming in and taking over your world, and then you're left like a bit crazy, and there's a lot of things you want to say but you don't feel safe enough to say it. You get to create a little like barrier in between you and just really nurture yourself for now, and let the kind of stuff fly around out there between them, and then you can walk through the barrier when you're ready to pull it down and be squeaky clean. In saying that, there is something that needs to be said, and you get to say it from a really loving place, and until you're in that really loving place, I wouldn't say it just yet. So so I'm gonna have you got a card there?
Do you know what I need to shake? And so I want you to shake. I am feeling so locked up and blocked up in these areas. It's just like, and I want to invite you to actually move and shake. Allow yourself to be free. So it's like, I want to invite you to get into your body. Allow your body to release, like sort of move it around. It's like,
yeah, definitely. Like allow your voice to come out.
Yeah, it's like it feels like you've already got enough words in your mind, words in your head, that it's just like, oh no, we don't need any more words. It's just like, release it out of your jaw, release it out of your throat, release it out of the back of your neck, and shake, move your shoulders, move, and allow her. Yeah, say ha.
So I yawn when energy's moving. So yeah, that's what Claudia said. Yeah, see.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm like sort of I move my body. It's and I can feel it in my lower back and my middle back now. So please let us know how this resonates. Please let us know what you're feeling from this. How can we like sort of guide you, help you through this? Because I feel like it's more about you getting back into your body. Coming into your body and coming into your heart. If you like, I'd love to give you a little process, which I absolutely love and adore. And that is, so for all those big fingers
travel along. We're going to do it with her.
Yay, yes, travel along. For all the big thinkers, for all the thinkers, all the ones with lots and lots of thoughts in your head, blah, 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 blah. I'm a thinker. I've got many thoughts, many ideas. And not all of them get to be grounded in. So I can get that they can make my energy go, Wah! So what I'd love to invite you into is within a crystal ball. You're lost. Oh, beautiful, darling Jade. Please join this process here with us. And I'd love for you to gather all your thoughts within this beautiful crystal ball within your mind. Gather your thoughts, gather your thoughts, gather your thoughts. And now within your thoughts, I'd like you to have that crystal ball take the elevator down through your chakras. And so have that elevator go down within this crystal ball through your throat, through your heart, through your chakras, down, down, down through your base chakra. And now I'd love to see you plant it in your soul, your earth star chakra, about a foot underneath your feet. And plant it in the earth star chakra so that within the earth, so that Mother Earth can come in and nourish those thoughts, cleanse those short thoughts, and use them. And here's the gold. Use them as fertilizer for your dreams. Your thoughts are the fertilizer for your dreams. And then allowing that to grow up, alchemizing through your divine essence and your divine being. And if there's anything else, Rachelle, that you'd like to add to that, you're welcome.
It's beautiful. I didn't have anything to add. Going back into your body is a beautiful space. And somebody on here, Kelly, wrote, "Am I safe?" And if you go back into your body and feel, if you didn't do the process right then as Claudia did, then watch it back and do it again, because once you realize how connected you are to the earth and how in your body you can be and how your body's always been there for you, you can really understand how safe you are right now in this moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel a beautiful, calm energy after doing that. And I loved that you dropped, down through your body. And if you're feeling lost, there's nothing like journeying through your body to realize how you are exactly where you need to be right now, and everything that happens is happening exactly as it should be happening right now. And sometimes it doesn't feel like that. I remember calling Claudia one time and saying, there is going to be one hell of a rainbow after this shitstorm that's happening right now in my life.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I love it.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like that right now.
No, it feels like a little bit of a tornado.
Yeah. But there is always a rainbow afterwards. So you're riding the storm and you're riding through it right now. And we truly honor that fact that there is a lot happening for you. And there's a lot of like up and down. So whenever you need to come back and just do that. I mean, how long did that take us? Probably a minute. And my energy changed straight away doing it. So, and use it as often as you need to, because it's a beautiful thing to connect back to who you are and be able to see that you're actually the creator of everything around you. So you get to connecting, calming yourself personally, you'll see that reflected out into the world. As much as sometimes it's hard to admit, like that we see our reflection of what's happening within us. So when big things, especially with family, big things are coming up and you're feeling all over the shop, then you're going to see that outside of yourself. Whereas if you take a moment to come back to you, to calm yourself, connect yourself energy down, you'll notice that around you, outside around you, that will calm down as well. And it's so it's so important to do that and realize how in control you are, that you can bring it back with going through those sort of things, that process.
Absolutely. It's such a magnificent process. And I'm really called to trees here at the moment, where she says, my life with my daughter and granddaughter, do I need to keep an eye on them and my son? I need to keep an eye on them and my son for a long time. There's grief and I can't move on with my own life.
The card that I got is Watch Your Words, which is really interesting, especially when you talk about grief, because I found for myself in the past, sometimes when you're in that moment, no matter what somebody says to you, it's the wrong thing to say. And I don't know if that's an experience. Please share with me if that's an experience you're kind of getting, that everything that you say to them seems to be like thrown back at you a little bit. If you send me a message, I can hook you up with somebody who works with grief, and it'll be lovely for you to work with her. But grief is such a big thing. It's always going to be there for them. Grief, I saw once this beautiful, I'm going to get a piece of paper. I saw this really beautiful description of grief. And it's like this, you have this huge moment, especially if they've had a loss. I can't remember which family member you said, but I know that you said that there was somebody who passed. So your grief, this is your grief. And this is when everything's just happened. This is where you are. And there's nowhere you can be but in here. And this doesn't actually ever go away. What happens is you get your life around the grief gets a little bit bigger. And then sometimes you'll be here in your life around the grief. And sometimes will set you off and you go flying back, and that you're straight back in that space. And as time goes on, your life gets bigger and bigger around the grief, but it's always there. So I think what's really important, and something I'm needing to say, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about, is that there's nothing that needs to be changed with their process that they're going through. It's really, 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 really important for them to stay in their grief if it still needs to be processed. As a society, we try and hurry things along. Claudia really wants to say something over here.
Feelings never die.
Yeah. And what you resist persists, right? So if they don't actually allow themselves to feel it, it's going to hang with them for the rest of their life. And I'm not saying losing somebody is always going to be with you for the rest of your life. That's always going to be a part of you. And especially if it's somebody who's taken away, it sounds like they were taken away quite tragically. The heartache that you're feeling is the connection that you still have for that person. I'm very lucky because I work in this spiritual world and I play in this spiritual world, and I see people come to me and from the other realms. So I know very much that they're around still. In fact, that's probably why I'm getting goosebumps all over me, which is beautiful.
The best visions. It's next level. I sit there and go, oh yeah, tell me more. I feel like I'm a little kid in a candy shop.
Oh, their dad and brother. Okay. So neck thing again, hey. I want to feel like there's something about a car. Turn knowledge into wisdom. That's an interesting card.
Well, and I just got the wisdom card out.
So that's really interesting. So I've got Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom, and then Claudia's also got a wisdom card. And that makes me think that you have gone through a big grief moment in your life, and so that you have there's brothers. Yes, they're brother, same dad, not brother. Okay, they're dad and brother. Okay, so like that, the other half of the step family's passed by the sounds. Because we've both got the wisdom card, like obviously that's a very big sign for you. And what I'm thinking is that you've been a motorbike, but they've got hit by a car on the motorbike, because I'm getting like a car and it's like flashing towards me. you have been through some big stuff in your life, and so you have a beautiful wisdom that you can share. The only thing, especially when I say because I got the parrot card before about being careful of your words, is that you get to wait until they're ready to receive the beautiful wisdom that you have within you, and they are getting a lot of wisdom through this experience. I know that sounds a bit bizarre, um, but and like I said before, that when you're in the middle of the storm, you don't really see the rainbow. It's a pretty shit way to get a great skill set, but they are learning some really big things, and they're going to use it. I feel like they're going to use that to help other people, whether it's just family, people within the family, because I'm feeling like really empowered. Like, so once they've kind of moved through this, I feel like they're really going to be using that in some messaging or helping people get through their own thing. I feel I'm going to take another. Yeah. Okay. So the next card is Snake Spirit, which is time to heal. And I love this card because it's exactly what we were just saying, and it affirms that everything that we were just saying. Yeah, is that they do need that space, and they do need that time. And I know that they're grieving, and it's really hard to watch somebody you love so much be in that much pain. But it's they still need to do that. They're still in that, and they still get to feel it, and you don't have to watch over them forever, because this is their soul contract, it's not yours. So you get to actually create you get to your space of healing, so that you can be there for when they are ready to get there. But they need to do it. And what I love about the snake card, and I don't know, you can't really tell so much, but the other thing about the snake is that when it sheds its skin, it's a whole new person. So once they shed that grief, which is, it's not shedding so much because it's always going to be there, but once they shed that layer, that they're going to be whole new people. And it's you get to show them, you get to, instead of joining them where they are, you get to live a beautiful, happy life, and then they will see that as an inspiration, because they can't get there unless you're already there. So very hard to say that, but if you run towards where your happiness, they're going to be inspired by that more than you going back to them and being sad with them, if that makes sense to you. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss, especially just before his birthday. It's a big one for the family to grapple with. You'll learn the reasons when you pass to the next side.
Yeah, reminds me of a song, actually one of my favorite songs, and it's a country song, and it talks about it's I can't think of what it's called. It's like a farmer and a daughter, a preacher, and anyway, it's like you never know what basically you never know what what message that they're leaving and what they're leaving behind. And it was just like this priest left a blood-stained Bible in the hooker's hand, and the story was being told by a priest, and the priest was saying, "As my mama," and as he held this blood-stained Bible, and it was just like it brings me to tears every time I hear it. I've been listening to it probably for about 10 years, and it reminds me continuously that we're all here for a reason. We're all here, and we all leave something. We all leave something. No matter who we are, we leave something here.
Yeah. Yeah, you are a strong person. You're not just spiritually, but you're a very strong person, Teresa. And it's one of the reasons why you've been called on to hold so much, because the universe only brings us what we can handle. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like we can handle it, but you have, and you get to be really proud of yourself for the way that you have navigated this all, and the way that you hold everybody through the process. Because I've done quick 2 cards, I feel like I'm incomplete without doing another one. So the last one is Starfish Spirit, which is a beautiful card and open to the infinite possibility. And I'm really drawn in this card to the orange in the middle. and likening that to like your solar plexus. And just like bringing you back to the power of who you are, because there's you are holding this beautifully, and you get to also hold yourself, because taking the care of yourself is going to really allow you to give more for them as well. So make sure that you factor that in. The opening to the infinite possibilities feels very much like the spiritual realms. Like there's more to this, and you will find out with time. Beautiful.
Sorry, I'm looking down because I looked at, there seems to be comments where the names aren't coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work out who's who. So I do have Kylie Crawford Volrath. Please let us know what your question is. So I tried to ask, yes. So if you can let us know what your question is, would love to know. We all have someone looking over us.
Yeah.
And it's you, and it's your higher self, and there are so many beautiful beings that are looking over you. We're looking over you now. We hold you in your highest. Hold yourself in your highest. You're divine. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Oh, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. If your family will be reunited soon. More detail, please. So one thing that we like, one thing that what we don't do is actually prescribe, I guess, life, death, that type of thing. So does reunited mean that will you come together and be harmonious, or yeah?
I feel like there's been a separation and they're coming back together. I got the White Raven, Trust in the Magic, and so I love this card because it's just surrender to what is. Sometimes when we really want something, so you really want the family to come back together, sometimes when you really want something, you're holding on to it too tight, and so it can't actually do what it's supposed to do. And I feel like the White Raven for you is like a message. Not only do I feel like there's something in that, so look up White Raven meaning, like spiritual meaning, but also it's the trust in the magic is you get to surrender as to how that looks, because holding on to a certain thing and holding an expectation about a certain thing is allowing what magic the universe is creating for you to happen. So I can't answer exactly that question, but I feel like what you're expecting and what is happening with different things. And so I invite you into letting go of the expectation and enjoying exactly what you have right now. And I know that sounds like, based on what you've asked, it's probably really hard to do, but being happy and grateful for where you are.
Yeah. Her husband and her living in the country. Okay. Yeah. So so one of the things that was really coming through for me was more about a process as opposed to a card for guidance, and it's a process for you so that you can open up into the visualization of that uniting. So see, what we think persists, what we, all of those sides of things. And so if you, Trees, just send us, I've put the at Claudia Forward or Rachelle Rakuraku. Please send us a message there, Trees, or ask in Awakened Hearts 1010. Yeah, I'll just put that in. Oh, I've got an extra one in there. And so what I want to, like, when you're wanting something, visualize it. Visualize it being there, but visualize the feeling of it. So how does it feel when you're together, when you're reunited? How does that feel? How would you speak? How would you wake up with that feel of being reunited? And see, the reason why you do this is because it's to open up to other inspirations, open up to the inspirations that are there of different ways of doing something. So, for example, for us as a family, we wanted more connection as a family. So it was like, okay, it wasn't like, okay, we're going to talk about connection as a family. No, no. We opened up to, well, what are some things? How does it feel to be connected? So what do we do when we're connected? We play games. We're talking happily. Okay, so what do we need to bring in to speak happily? So then being reunited, like say if your husband's in another side hey, you can have some pretty cool conversations which might go to another level. And you might be able to play and actually give yourself some pleasure and give each other some pleasure through those conversations. You may be able to open up to other avenues in that regard. How can you connect deeper, deeper and deeper whilst you are in different countries and know that you're going to be united and you are already united?
What I love the most is Claudia's just given you the supercharged power to magnetize it towards you. So it's about, if you want something to happen in the future, it's about embodying the feeling, the energetic, because it's all about energies. So embodying the way that would feel will bring that feeling towards you. You're just magnetizing it towards you. So really take a moment each and every day. I like to suggest to people, when you're just waking up, especially because it means so much, and going to sleep, especially because you probably shared that space with your husband before, is like really imagining him there and allowing yourself to feel that really beautiful soul connection that you felt in his physical presence. And then bringing that feeling also to your communication, which is what Claudia was just talking into.
Yeah. And for like, someone's commented, I don't know what it's like to be connected. Hold your hand and you're connected. Hold your hand. And Jade, I want to actually invite you into this. It's a little process. It's the process of my dog's barking. Sorry about that. Okay. If you want to know what connection is, one hand washes the other. Hold the hands and hold your hands together. And while you're holding your hand together, feel one hand on the other hand and the other hand on the other hand. And feel the energy pulsating between your hands as Rachelle is sending you energy. Feel the hands. Feel the hands. And Kylie, this is so much for you too. Feel the connection. Unity is where you are. And then just breathe that in. Feel the connection. Hold your hands like this until you can feel the pulse beat within your hands. Like my hands are like pulsing. That's connection. And build off that. So that creates then, Jade, something physical for you. Kylie, something physical for you. And build off that. Start growing that and magnetizing that to you. I really feel this. My hands are just like, woo. You should try it. It's pretty cool. I haven't done it like that before. It's like, woo. Yeah, feel the cupping. One hand touching the other and the other hand touching the other. There was this wise man in just in Bali, from Bali retreats that I did probably about 15 years ago. one hand washes the other was what he's saying. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I get that. No, I get it. So Jade, I'd love to invite you to please share with us how that feels after doing that process. And thank you so much, Kylie. Goosebumps. You are so welcome. You are going to, yes, you're going to have some fun. I think you're going to have some pretty cool calls.
You get to have some fun. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So do we see anyone else that we have? Oh, Pam's here. We love Pam. Okay, so Pam is coming up as a Facebook user. So I tried something different. And
is she Hi Jody?
No, she is. Yes, she is. She's Hi Jody. We love Pam.
I love Pam by default.
I know, exactly. My hands pulse a lot, sometimes my feet. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Are you attuned to Reiki?
Yeah, Kerry, are you attuned to Reiki?
Sorry?
Yeah, Kerry, are you attuned to Reiki because you get to use your healing hands? And I'd love to do a card for the collective here, all the people who are watching and all the people who watch on the replay, because I feel like it's a beautiful message and it's so very interesting because I got the same card as I got before.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm gonna choose a different deck then.
Lay a solid foundation.
Oh yeah.
It's very interesting because I always get different messages from all of my cards. Like when I pull it, it'll be the same card. I'm like, yeah, but I don't see that this time. I see this.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. And so where you were talking about grounding it in, yeah?
Yay, Jade, she just feels the pulse. Sorry.
Oh yes, Jade. Yeah, you know what? Celebrating you. Celebrating you. How cool. Now, here's the thing. So this very thing, okay, so can I just digress for a moment? Okay, so here's the thing. Well, I'm going to anyway. But so what if this little process of you holding your hands, that simple little process of feeling the pulse was able to amplify how you can connect to yourself on a deeper way, connect to others on a deeper way? What if you were to do that every single day for the next full year? How would your life be different? Just that, and allowed it to evolve, allowed it to amplify. How freaking cool is that? See, this is what I love. This is where I get very, very excited. I do get very excited. I get very passionate because it's like, this is how, like, calling in the life that you want can be that simple. It can be,
That's what we were talking about before, the connection. Like if you're putting yourself in that energetic, right? So if you're every day you have a practice of putting yourself in the energetic of connection, outside of you is going to magnetize all of this connection to you.
exactly. And guess what? Boom! There's a connection to what we said earlier.
Exactly. We're all connected, and we don't. It's whether we choose to see it or not, and whether we choose to realize how important and how big that is. But whether you think you are or not, you are.
Exactly, absolutely. And
that loving connection space, because you get to.
Exactly, it's all yours. And to add the other connection from what you were saying, jumping back to your card, where you spoke about grounding it in, mic drop. I love that. I love mic drop moments. That's awesome. Boom, chaka, boom. And where you were speaking about grounding it in, well, that's also the crystal ball that we were talking about earlier, in gathering your thoughts into the crystal ball and allowing that to be the elevator down through your chakras, down and planted into the ground. planted in the ground, and allowing those thoughts, and also allowing the shit things that happen to you in life, the things that you just go, well, you know what, you can just fuck right off. But allowing those to be the fertilizer to your life, the fertilizer to your dreams.
So I love that you just said the fertilizer, because they lay the solid foundation to me. Like this card, like when I look at it this time, it's all about the green, right? And getting out into nature and taking yourself back. And so the fertilizer was beautiful because it was like, yes, that's it. It's like going back and allowing yourself to be in connecting back to nature, to be able to calm yourself down and bring you back to who you are and the joyousness that you get to be. And it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, it is. And that's the thing, living in joy, living in love, living passionately. You know what? Stuff's going to happen. I've got a beautiful pile of washing that gets to be ironed. I'm praying I'm going to bring in the connection that there's going to be an ironing fairy overnight.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing so much, because I saw a thing today and I was going to post it in my group, the Mamahood. And it says, do you know who will always be there for you? Laundry. Laundry will always be there for you. So true.
Okay, one of my favorite posts that you shared was, hang on. Oh, gosh, I'm going to get it wrong.
You're going to get it right, actually.
I'm going to get it right. No, it was something about, I've got the essence of it. It's something about a magnificent self-restraint. No, when I was younger, my parents never said F off to me. Now, as a parent, I realize what a magnificent
self-restraint my parents had. Yeah, my parents never told me to fuck off. So now as an adult, I realize what a magnificent level of self-restraint.
I'm like, hey, you got to see this. You got to see this. Come on, that's funny, isn't it? Come on, bring it.
So good. It's so good.
Oh my goodness. We love you all, and we have come to an end. Please, please, please join our groups. I've got the links up in the top. We've got Awakened Hearts, Igniting Divine Choice, Awakened Hearts 1010, and the Mamahood. Please do join us. Please support us, share us, love us, and we will love on you. Honestly, we love on you.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me, Claudia. It's been so much fun. And thank you everyone for joining in, because I feel so blessed and honored to be able to be here with you all and all your magic. Do you want to reach out? I'm a human.
Love, 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 love.